Josh Loeser actually had a gymnastics meet, and against, hey, you got Oklahoma in there, Arizona State. Fared pretty well. What were your impressions of your team in that meet?
You know, I was pretty impressed with how they performed. I did not expect them to do as well as they did. It was more the energy from the team. Their hit percentage wasn't super high, but they executed pretty well. Other than that, and it just seemed like, we talked last week about them needing confidence, and they just seemed so much more. It was the most exciting meet I've had with this team since I've come back, and if they can keep that momentum up, we'll see, because we're on the road this weekend. But if they can do the same thing, and score is not something I'm really too worried about. It's more of, if they can perform the way they did this past weekend, or better, preferably, I'll be happy with that. So
I think a lot of people talking about, of course, Garrett Broughton, your freshman, his high bar win. Obviously, his routine there was great, but I think he may have been disappointed in his overall evening.
Oh, yeah.
Would you say?
He was, and I'm not going to say that he shouldn't be, because, he had some mistakes that were a little uncharacteristic of him. On vault, that's a new vault for him, and he started working that in October, so he should be a little bit more lenient on himself with that. But parallel bars and pommel horse, I think he knows what he did wrong. And even on parallel bars, it's sort of like a freak accident. His hand kind of slipped under the rail while he was doing a Diamondov. And I've never seen him do that before, so it could have been nerves. A lot of times in our sport, especially guys at that level, they try overly hard to do things perfect, and when you do that, a lot of times you have mistakes. But good on him for trying to make it perfect. That's the end goal. So yeah, he did well.
Talk to me about what he does for your team. He obviously has confidence. You said you wanted to see more confidence in your team. Do you think your team, can they get that through osmosis through him or something?
Yeah, I don't know, osmosis, I have no idea, but when you have somebody on your team that, at least for our sport, when you have somebody on your team that's used to, like I said last week, competing under pressure, that kid, he's an animal. He wants to go out there and he wants to win. And I don't feel like we've had that on the team, at least not last year. And somebody being on our team that has that sort of killer instinct, that wants to go out there and win and is not happy when he loses, and he has the ability to do that. He has the ability to win. It does bring confidence to the rest of the guys. It's sort of, they feed off of that desire to perform better. So it's a good thing. Yes, Garrett is an incredible athlete, and his score brings a lot to the team, but I value more that confidence that he brings, that the other guys feed off of. That's what I care about more. So, yeah, it's good.
You mentioned there were scores that you were surprised, that even surprised you. Are there names you want to throw out there who really impressed you this weekend?
I'm not too big on choosing one athlete over the other. I feel like they did well as a team. They can be happy with themselves. In private we talk about like individual athletes, but now as a team, I felt like they did really well. And as long as they keep doing that, then they can be proud of their individual accomplishments, as long as it's directed towards a team accomplishment. So.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Oklahoma again this week, this time at their place. Obviously, that's a huge opponent. That's always one of the best ranked teams in the country. Are you doing this on purpose, or is this what do you want to see from your team this weekend?
It is. They are one of the best teams in the country right now. We typically compete against them every year at home, but specifically this year, with the guys coming off a competition like they had this past weekend, I think it's good to back it up with another strong opponent, especially for our first travel competition, because when we go there, if they can replicate what they did this past weekend, or like I said, even improve, then it should be a good year. In the past we've had trouble having two back-to-back competitions and performing well at both. So if they can do that, then it should set them up to do well. Our goal, I know my assistant coach Sergi, he's very competitive. He wants to win every meet, and I get that. I eventually that's where we need to get, but at the same time you have to set goals incrementally, and for me, my goal for this year is to just take down Army and Navy. If we do that, then we did well this year. Then you build from there. Our sport's not any sport, but our sport's not something we're going to take a year like last year and all of a sudden turn around and be like a top 3 team in the country. I'm not saying it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I think if they focus on that, they're going to get lost in the weeds and they're not going to accomplish the goals that are set before getting to that next level. So that's the goal. Do well this weekend so that confidence is more concrete. And then when we go into all academies February 13th, they should be pretty well set to perform. And if we accomplish that, then they can start aiming higher. So
Gotcha. Sounds like a plan. Josh Loeser, thanks for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.